Okay, let's dive right in. We're about to investigate one of the most dramatic vanishing acts in tech history. We're talking about a device that was used by millions, and then it just disappeared, seemingly overnight. I'm talking, of course, about the pager. For a hot second, it was the future of communication. And then, almost instantly, it became a fossil. So what happened? What or who is responsible for its sudden death? To really understand why the pager died, we first have to understand why it was such a titan in the first place. And the secret to its success, surprisingly, was all about what it couldn't do. So let's go back to the early 90s. The pager wasn't just some boring gadget for doctors anymore. Oh no, it exploded into a massive social phenomenon, especially for young people in Japan. It was a full-blown status symbol, the must-have accessory. So why did it get so big? Well, here's the crazy part. Its success was built on its limitations. The pagers themselves were cheap, the monthly plans were cheap, and they worked perfectly with the payphones you could find on literally every street corner. That one-way communication? That wasn't a bug, it was a feature. It created this super simple, super cheap loop. You get a page, you find a phone, and you call back. And because you couldn't send text, this whole wave of creativity just erupted. Users came up with this brilliant numeric slang. For example, the numbers 4649 kind of sound like Yoroshiku, which means nice to meet you, or 0840 was code for Ohio, or good morning. So this limitation didn't stop communication, it turned it into a fun secret code, a unique social tool for an entire generation. So, you see, the pager wasn't just a piece of technology, it was a cultural icon. It was just perfectly, almost miraculously optimized for its time. It was the right tool at the right price at exactly the right moment.
Okay, so now let's get to the crime scene. Right when the pagers was at its absolute peak, a couple of new suspects show up. The first mobile phones, and this thing in Japan called PHS, or the personal handy phone system. And let me tell you, they were not here to play by the same rules.
And this is the key. Mobile phones weren't just a better pager. They were playing a completely different game. The pager's whole reason for being was to set up a delayed conversation. Hey, please call me back. A mobile phone gave you an instant one. It didn't just do the pager's job better, it made the job itself totally redundant. All of a sudden, that whole world the pager relied on, that huge network of public payphones, became obsolete. I mean, why would you hunt for a payphone to return a page when the phone was already in your pocket? The problem the pager solved so brilliantly didn't just get a new solution. The problem itself literally vanished into thin air. And this, right here, brings us to the core of the mystery, the pager's fatal flaw. It wasn't that it was bad tech, not at all. It was that it was a technology with absolutely nowhere to go. The official cause of death wasn't just good old-fashioned competition. It's a fascinating concept called technological discontinuity, and that's the moment when a new invention doesn't just improve on the old one, but it makes the old one's entire purpose, well, irrelevant. Think about it like this. Landlines evolved into mobile phones, and mobile phones evolved into the smartphones we have today, right? There was a clear path forward. But the pager, it was hyper-optimized for just one simple task. You couldn't just tack on two-way communication. You'd need a whole new device, a whole new network. It was perfected, but it was final. A beautiful evolutionary dead end. The pager's extinction isn't just some quirky footnote in tech history. It is a powerful, almost terrifying lesson that still haunts the tech world to this day. What this whole story proves is that massive success and being a cultural icon offer you zero guarantee of survival. The pager industry was absolutely booming right up until the very moment it completely collapsed. And really, the pager was just the first domino to fall in this super dramatic way. We saw the exact same pattern when digital cameras made film obsolete, and then we saw it again when streaming services made DVDs and Blu-rays pretty much irrelevant. In every single case, a dominant technology wasn't just improved upon, its entire purpose was erased. So its decline wasn't this gentle, gradual slope. It was a cliff. People didn't slowly stop using pagers. Society as a whole just collectively decided, almost overnight, that this device was no longer necessary. Which, of course, brings us to one final, pretty unsettling question. What wildly popular, perfectly optimized technology that you and I use every single day is going to be the next pager?